Hello and welcome to the North Bank podcast, Arsenal's number one podcast. Well, at least according to my 5-year-old son, and who am I to argue with him? I'm your host, Holly, and along with Stef, we'll spend the next hour trying to justify such a lofty claim. How are you, Stef?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Yeah, it's been pretty good this week, hasn't it? Have you had any wonderful dalliances with the Spurs faithful?
Yeah, just one or two, and it's so entertaining to play it cool and just try and do it all reserved, because you don't even have to say anything.
It's worse for them if you don't.
It's just so much worse for them.
I'm hoping these two gentlemen don't listen to this podcast. They're two Spurs fans. They are fellow dads at the school gates in the morning, and I haven't seen either of them. No, I hadn't seen either of them for the first 2 days, and I saw one of them yesterday. And I asked him about his marathon training. Mentioned the football at all.
Yeah.
Knowing he was just waiting and waiting and waiting. And then this morning I saw him again, and I went, I meant to say yesterday, what's the course like? He's waiting.
Yeah.
And waiting and waiting. The other guy put his kids in breakfast club every morning and after school club this week. I think genuinely just to avoid me. So I'll take that. Have you seen the video of Iwobi and Emil on the Fulham bus winding up Sessegnon?
Proper gooners. I love the Sessegnon's face when they concede the first goal. Like, I knew he was probably more Tottenham, obviously, but like he's got the face of a fan at that moment, and I love that. And then Iwobi and Smith Rowe, and how nice is it for Smith Rowe? He's doing all the celebrations. Oh, it's great. It's
a 2.5 minutes worth of your time to find it somewhere. It's doing the rounds anyway, but it's on the what game had they played? Because they were on a very fancy looking bus. Coming home from somewhere on Sunday. They'd obviously played the 2:30 kickoff or something.
I can't remember now.
So yeah, I hope they win. Just for that video, I really hope Fulham win their next game, like comfortably. Who are they playing? Is it a relegation candidate?
I think it might be.
Oh, they should comfortably win that one. So it's a Spurs, is it? Any kind of lasting, overriding thoughts back to Sunday? Because this show is pretty much going to be looking forward to the Chelsea game on Sunday, but also to March in general for both ourselves and Manchester City. But it was such a fantastic performance and result at Spurs, with the two goal scorers getting their brace. Like any kind of overriding thoughts from that? Just want to carry it through into the next game, kind of approach.
And that's the key thing. It's about carrying it through. We all wanted that reaction after the disappointing second half at Wolves, and boy did we get it. And at times there were still some iffy moments, but ultimately, the quality shone through, and two players who have had interesting seasons, come under criticism in some aspects, but have been lauded in others, to do it in the derby and get us back on track, hopefully, was just delightful. And it's positive vibes, and like you say, it's about carrying that through and taking it into every game now.
Well, Big Vic has absolutely been part of that conversation. Oh, hit or miss, has he been is he actually a decent footballer? All of that. But I think that conversation has to start petering out. And if you just compare his goals in all competitions this season to all of the other summer signings, he's got 15 in all competitions. Ekitike's got 14. Pedro's got 14. Waltamado's got 10. Sesko's got 8.
Yeah.
So I think soon, obviously, if he gets another brace on Sunday against Chelsea, I think that would bury that conversation. I think he's got 15. If he gets 20, it's already a successful debut season for us, for me. I set that target of 20 goals at the start of the season. I didn't think he'd get anywhere near it by Christmas time. Yeah. And now, I'm thinking I'd be disappointed if he only gets to 20 from where he is now, with the number of games that we've got still to play.
And just to finish off the chat about Gyökeres for a second, because I've seen other discourse met with, well, yeah, he's a goal ahead of Ekitike, but you got to look at maybe the opposition he scored against, and it's like, well, you can't have it both ways.
Yeah.
Arsenal needed a goal scorer to score against those teams where we weren't getting those goals before, and if he's come in as a flat track bully, good. That's what we wanted. That's exactly right. You know, I think you made the joke in the instant reaction that absolutely Arsenal needed a player to score against those lower relegation battling teams in order to secure the 3 points. And against Tottenham, he absolutely did that. Yeah, in terms of the eye test, Ekitike looks like a better footballer. But, you know, I'm not doubting
silky-wise, yeah. More
silky-wise. I've been incredibly impressed by him. In a Liverpool team that has found it hard to go again after winning the title, obviously dealing with the massive loss of Diogo Jota, and as well as injuries that have beset them in the front line at different times. So he is having a good season. We're not pointing that out to denigrate him. We're pointing it out to big up Gyökeres.
Yeah.
Gyökeres has come under a huge amount of criticism, and it seems to have taken him a few months to settle in, and his 2026 since New Year has been very good. We're just looking at it from that positive view, and long may it continue. Like you say, another 2 against Chelsea, and we'll be dancing on the streets.
Indeed, and I know I said we won't go on about Spurs, but do you know what? It's such a good result. It'd be kind of remiss of me not to give it a little bit of attention. But I have really enjoyed the Spurs. What do I call them? This clip I'm going to reference in a second isn't from TalkSport, but it's a TalkSport-esque type of thing. Whereas a group of Spurs fans, I think the female is from TalkSport. I can't remember her name.
Oh, you're on about Abby?
Abby, yes, that's it.
Bar room.
Right, okay. But one of the other guys that she was having this kind of round table chat with is an Arsenal fan, and they seemed quite reasonable. But this was the question one of them posed. What do you think would be more embarrassing?
Yes.
Spurs getting relegated or Arsenal not winning anything from the position we're currently in? And they genuinely were trying to suggest that us not winning anything from now would be the bigger embarrassment than being relegated, having spent all of the money. Like, it would be a pretty disappointing and devastating end of the season for us if we didn't win anything, but we'd go again in August, whereas they'd be playing Lincoln. So
exactly.
So how about this though? Because that got me thinking, and this, you're going to hate this, and there are several listeners that are going to hate this as well.
It's not one of these Holly hypotheticals, is it? Oh, for goodness
I'm
sake.
Afraid it is.
Right, let's have it.
I'm apologising in advance. Okay,
Good.
It's a bit fun. Don't take me seriously. Okay, would you rather City get docked 60, because this has come up with, is it Kevin Maguire's doing the rounds this week with regards to like potential sanctions, and 60-point deduction was the one that was mooted, but so let's play with it. Would you rather City got docked 60 points now, as in like say tomorrow, pretty much giving us a clear run at the title this season, but it would mean that Spurs didn't get relegated because City would be the 60 points docked? Or would you rather us take our chances with City this season, and which would guarantee Spurs getting relegated? Which way would you go?
I'm taking the points deduction now because, and let everyone hear it, I don't think Spurs will get relegated. There's a good argument.
But they were the two. They were the two options. There were two finite options.
Right. If you're seeing it as a finite option, I'm still taking the title. I don't care. Give me the title now, or a run at the title, it should say.
Ben on our Patreon put out put a few stats on about Arteta, which is quite interesting. Arteta has been top of the table since he took over at Arsenal. He spent more days. We've spent more days in number one spot in the Premier League than Pep has. So Arteta's been top more days than Pep, and we've won 0 titles and Pep's won four league titles.
And what does that tell you?
Yeah, well, what does that tell you? I don't know. What
It
does that
tells
tell you?
me that it's fine. It's easy to get the top. The hardest bit is being there at the end. That's
Which
the
is the only
hardest bit.
which is the only important
Because it's
bit.
all that matters. In the same way that, we talk about stats an awful lot, but the only one that ever matters is the scoreline at the end of the day.
So I suggested that I would rather take my chances with City this season and let City start next season with a -30 or something.
Sure.
Kind of because I think we're in a great position
Yeah.
this season. And can you imagine the narrative if we win the title? I don't know that I'd care. I still take the title all day long and I'll be at the parade and all that for sure. But could you imagine the wider narrative if we win the league just because
You only won it because
Yeah.
City got dot points, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, that would be payment for the titles we missed out on.
two we
because
missed out on, yeah.
They were cheating their way to the top. It would make up for the one that Liverpool lost out on. They got 100 points and still lost to City because City were,
Cheating.
cheating,
Allegedly.
essentially. Yeah. I mean, I don't know about you, but because I saw the reports about Kevin Maguire and coming up with this as well, but I tried to do a little bit of digging and reading around it, but it again, it just seems like, yes, he's a guy in the know and he's reporting on it and has been for a long time, but it's still finger in the wind stuff.
Oh,
as far
completely.
as I can
He
see.
said himself, but I've said this 6 months ago, I've said this 4 months ago, I've said this 2 months ago. It's
So it means nothing.
It has to come at some point, but then they'll get bogged down in appeals, so it doesn't matter.
Exactly. So
It's-
this will run on for years.
This
no
isn't
one will
going
know.
to impact this season.
No.
It might impact next season, but it's not going to impact this season.
And the only thing that I think might come of it is, while it's all being decided and appealed and going back and forth and they're delaying and delaying, essentially when Pep goes, and the rumours are he could leave at the end of the
summer, yeah.
season, that's when City will tighten their belts and run things differently and accordingly, and they might invest in and have their youth players come through, because basically we'll treat it as the Pep era. I don't know whether that will see a fall off. I mean, they locked down Haaland into a 10-year contract basically to protect his value, I guess. But
it just
who
depends
knows?
on who they get in, because people like Semenyo decided to go knowing that Pep is rumoured to be leaving in the summer because he wanted to spend half a season under his tutelage. It just depends if they get someone like Vincent Kompany, rumoured. Who else was there? There was two
Maresca.
names. Oh yeah, Maresca. That's the one. Now that'd be great. I'm sorry.
I don't think I'd be adverse to that.
No, not at all. As an opposition fan, I'd be quite happy. I'm sure Chelsea fans would be cock a hoop as well, to be fair. Okay, look, that's fine. That's for another day, another season, perhaps. Before we look at Chelsea, the Chelsea game in particular, let's look ahead to the month of March, which is a stonking month of football.
Boy.
We've got 7 matches in 21 days in 4 different tournaments. I mean, this is where we want to be.
Absolutely.
With a reasonably healthy squad. I again, we're recording this on Thursday evening. Press conferences are Friday lunchtime. 1:30 tomorrow is Arteta's press conference. I don't know about Havertz. I don't know about Ben White. I don't know about Ødegaard's fitness. He came on against Spurs, so I'm assuming he's fine. So there's lots of question marks. All we know for sure is that Marino is not available. Apart from that, I've no idea. So we've got 7 games in 21 days. Man City have got 7 games in 22 days because they play on Saturday, we play on... And technically, I said March, but technically Man City play on the 28th of February, so allow me that little difference. So our games are as following, because 7 games in 21 days sounds pretty tough, but we've got a little bit of an advantage in the FA Cup tie away to Mansfield in the middle of this, or the third game in this, which will allow us heavy rotation and key players to get another week's rest. Yep. So we've got Premier League game on Sunday, Chelsea at home. We then go to Brighton away on the following Wednesday. Yeah, I'm more concerned about that game than the Chelsea game, but we'll get to that. On the 7th, we are away to Mansfield in the FA Cup. I haven't looked at their games over the weekend, but they were a few places above Wigan, who we dispatched quite comfortably in the previous. Right, yeah.
Well, I can tell you about Mansfield because I had a look yesterday, that in the month of February so far, the only game they have won was their FA Cup tie away at Burnley. They
Which is
lost everything in the league.
Which is not a bad result.
Which is a very, very good result, and a weird one from Burnley because they were sort of in control and then kind of collapsed.
It might indicate Mansfield's playing a lot better without the pressure.
Absolutely.
But again, listen, it's a game, no matter what team we put out, it's a game we should be winning. And we've lost to weaker opposition in the past. I was very aware of us losing to Wrexham, Mickey Thomas and all that way back in the day. Then on the 10th and 11th, now again, the draw for the Champions League knockout stages is tomorrow. So by the time a lot of you are listening and watching this, you will already know who our opposition is. But we know that we're away first leg, and it's either going to be Atalanta or Leverkusen. So Atalanta had that amazing comeback victory over Dortmund. Midweek. So 10th or 11th, we don't know, but that's away. The following weekend, we're scheduled to be playing Everton at home on the Sunday, but that game has already been flagged as potentially being moved. And if it's moved, again, it's Everton, bizarrely, because the away game suffered the same fate to 8 o'clock on Saturday evening. Man City are in the same boat with their game, which is it West Ham? I think, I can't remember exactly. Oh, actually, I've written it down. Forest. No. I don't know. West Ham away. The Man City game. That's it. Okay. So it's Chelsea at home, Brighton away, Mansfield FA Cup, Champions League away in either Germany or Italy, Everton at home probably on the Saturday evening. Then it's the Champions League home leg ahead of the League Cup final on the 22nd. So that's a pretty hectic, but 2 games. So I think we've had a week off, as has everybody pretty much. I think we can go strong Chelsea and Brighton.
Yep.
I don't think we need to worry about rotating legs there, because any player that plays both full 90 minutes there does not start or even turn up on the bench away at Mansfield. So that gives them a week off. Champions League away game, Everton home game, Champions League home game, City. So there's not a lot of travel involved there. No. So it's although it sounds on the surface 7 games in 21 days, pretty hectic. Scratch below the surface, and it's not. It's okay. It's manageable. We've had worse this season. We've had worse.
I mean, in other seasons, we've dropped out of the cups, haven't we? So I know League Cup we've made the semi-final, but now we've got the finals to contend with, and the FA Cups the last 3 or 4 years have been absolutely dire because of the difficult draws. So it's it would have been a lighter schedule in previous years, but at the same time, it's an exciting thing to be part of.
Oh, absolutely. Now, by comparison, Man City's March, their March starts in February, but you know what I mean. On Saturday, they're away at Leeds, 5:30 kickoff. I won't be watching it. I can't watch it. Then the midweek game, they're home to Forest. New manager, it depends on, the Forest were unlucky against Liverpool insofar as they were the better team against Liverpool. So if they can apply some of that with a bit of luck, City, you never know. City are going to win that game. You've got to think. Yeah. Now, this is where we benefit and they're at a disadvantage. There are 2 disadvantages as I see it for Man City in the month of March. This is the first one. Their FA Cup match is away at Newcastle. Now, that's really good. Now, I'd much rather be going to Mansfield, the lowest ranked team left in the FA Cup. And if we lose, fine, we lose. This is not me being arrogant. I'm just comparing the ties. I'd much rather be going to Mansfield than going to St James's Park.
Yes.
All day long. Yep. Because City are not going to be able to rest players if they have a genuine desire to progress in the tournament.
Okay.
So there's the caveat. They might not. They might decide with a relatively small squad to kind of play a weakened side in this game. I don't know. Newcastle will be going for it. They owe Man City quite heavily this season already.
Massively.
So that one. Now, then there's a home game in the Champions League. That's either going to be Bodo Glimt or is it Real Madrid?
I think it could be Real Madrid.
Yeah, so I think it's Bodo Glimt. Now, Bodo Glimt beat them really quite comfortably in the group stages in their last game or penultimate game or something like that. It was like 3-1 or something like that. I can't remember. And then they've got West Ham away, which again is our Everton fixture correspondent, which could be moved. And this is the second advantage or disadvantage for City in this month. They are then away. Oh, I've written a question mark. Are they away? Are City drawn?
Is this because of the Madrid combination?
I don't know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm hoping they're away. They might not be, actually. I might be talking...
Because I saw an article online which talked about the potential fixture chaos, because the way the draw works, where it's basically designed who's away and who's home first, there is a possibility at some point where Atletico Madrid could play Liverpool and Man City could play Real Madrid, and both Madrid teams would be at home and away at the same time, which could cause all sorts of issues in terms of travel and policing and all those sorts of things as well. Now, what they'll do is obviously just have to negotiate how they do that, or do the split days thing where it's like one day Atletico, next day Real, or something along those lines.
Right, okay, so yeah, I might be wrong with that. I was hoping that Man City had the away leg second, but they did qualify in the top 8, so that might qualify them for home leg second in this knockout stage. I don't know. I know we're guaranteed home leg second right the way through to any semi-final that we play, because then it's the Carling Cup final, and I would love the idea of them travelling to the Arctic Circle 3 days before they play us at Wembley, having to play a hopefully the tie still live, and having to play a strong team. But I did write a question mark alongside it because I wasn't sure whether which leg they had at home and which leg they had away. I'll be honest with you, I've tried to work out the Champions League draw, and my brain isn't equipped to work out what's possible. All I'm getting is that we really want Bayer Leverkusen and we want City getting Real Madrid, and that would put us in the opposite draw to Bayern and Real and City and so on. It would put us alongside, I think, Liverpool and Spurs. As you said earlier, I just want to avoid the English teams.
Oh, God, yeah.
I'd fancy
that's the killer for me. I don't
else.
care who. I just want to avoid the English teams for as long as possible.
Because Leverkusen aren't doing anything great in the Bundesliga. They're like 5th or 6th. I can't remember exactly where they are. Atalanta, I haven't even looked at Atalanta because I assumed that Dortmund would go through. But we'll wait and see. We played Atalanta this season, didn't we?
No, we played Atalanta last season. We played Leverkusen this season.
And what was the Atalanta? Was that away?
Atalanta was away. It was 0-0. David Raya saved a penalty. Okay.
All right. Well, 0-0 away is fine. So how are you feeling about March?
I mean, excited, nervous, all of the usual things. I think it's a tremendous position to be in, and it's what I'm going to try and remember, because, look, we all know it could go belly up. Absolutely. You know, we're in a position that we still have a chance of winning all 4. Realistically, I know that that's probably hugely unlikely. And so I'm going to try and remember, should things not pan out how we want to, that still is a sign of progress, that we've got the squad now to get us this far and to be this far into competitions and still competitive, because
and committed as well,
and committed to it. Yeah, exactly. So even when we talk about making changes in the League Cup or in the FA Cup, it's because we've invested in the squad and raised the floor of the squad so well that those players that are being put out are players that are pushing for first team place. You know, a couple of good performances. I mean, how many times this season have people swung from one to the other about who our best left back is? You know, the start of the season, everyone's going, right, Lewis Skelly, you're back in. But Calafiori was fit. Calafiori started the season absolutely brilliantly. Right, it's his place. He has a couple of injuries, comes out the team. Nkapie comes in. He looks like he's set. because we have that depth to call upon, which is absolutely great. And that's probably true of a few positions. People are looking at the number 10 role now, where Odegaard seemed to have it on lockdown, but you could quite easily see Eze coming in there. And, Havertz dropped back in there for the Leeds game. So should he be fit, that's another option that you've got. It's pretty incredible.
In terms of Man City, we'll get on to the specifics of the Arsenal players and who turns out against Chelsea in a second. How are you feeling about Manchester City? I know people keep saying they're not the City of old.
No, but their very recent results have been pretty good, and it is just so annoying that they can go out and sign players like Guehi and Semenyo, and they make an impact almost straight away. I saw some ridiculous takes where, I can't remember who it was, but someone was talking about signings of the season, and Guehi seemed quite high up on that list, considering he's played about 4 games for City. But the fact that he's just slotted in, it's frustrating, because they have.
How do you think Liverpool fans feel?
Yeah, I know exactly. Which, yeah, it is what it is. But this is the thing, and this is what gets me about the petty rivalry amongst fans, because, my enemy's enemy is my friend kind of thing. I don't know why we get on each other's case so much, because Arsenal and Liverpool fans have a lot in common when it comes to bloody Man City frustrating us with their spending power / cheating, that they're able to reinforce their squad to such a level and not seem to worry about the consequences when it comes to these things. So it's frustrating, but yeah, they look good. But at the same time, they're not flawless.
Because my feeling ahead of every Man City game is, if they're tying at half time, there's hope.
Right.
And my Man United mate, he said, because everybody should have one, he said that he watched the last 20-25 minutes of the City Newcastle game, and he said they were nervous as hell.
Yeah.
And scoreboard pressure we talk about quite a lot. So we've got that after beating Spurs, but it's the manner in which we beat Spurs, I think, will be... City have had a week with that percolating in the backs of their minds. It's unavoidable for them to be thinking about it. They would have, they would have, just like we were when City went to Anfield, I was fully expecting City to drop points. In fact, that was the only game I said they would lose between then and the end of the season. And they could turn around and win it. And the fortune with which they won it right at the death. Now, Liverpool were crap the game, and the City probably deserved to win the game. Well, certainly first half Liverpool were crap. Second half were better. City fans would have been, and City players would have been, keeping an eye out on the North London derby, fully expecting, hoping Arsenal to drop points. We had a wobble against Wolves, dropped 2 points against Brentford. Spurs' new manager. The toxic atmosphere around Spurs completely evaporated and lifted entirely. All the ingredients were there for Arsenal's drop points, but we actually just swatted Spurs away. 4-1 was generous to them. And I know there were a couple of moments within the game that could have gone another way, like the disallowed goal at 2-2 which would have made it 2-2 perhaps. But still, we were by far the better team by every metric there. And that's going to be inside City's minds. When Bernardo Silva admitted after the Liverpool game that they felt that if they didn't win that game, the title was gone, that tells me they're a lot more emotional than they have been in previous years. They know that, I don't want to say we're the better team, but they know that we are a different opposition, a different rival this time, that there's something different about us. And beating Spurs 4-1 in that manner at Spurs will do nothing other than reinforce that in their own minds. So they'll be going into the Leeds game thinking, we have to win this game. Which is why then, if it's tight, if it's still narrow, and Leeds need the points for survival as well, and they'll be fired up, no question about that. Under the lights, Ellen Road, fantastic. I know we went there and comfortably dealt with that in a manner that really kind of engendered great confidence in our team this season. But if City are going into the second half and then the last 30 minutes, 20 minutes, and they're searching for a goal, well then, I mean, I'm still not going to watch it, but I might start pacing.
Well, I was just going to say as well, it's interesting because you said, yeah, everyone was, watching Arsenal against Tottenham, hoping that Arsenal would drop points. And I think what plays into that maybe even more than the fact that it was against Spurs and it was a derby game and usually form goes out the window, the fact that it was off the back of the Wolves' disappointment. Because we look at some of the seasons, I remember drawing 2-2 away at West Ham when we had that beautiful black kit. So that would have been getting on 3 years ago now. Saka missed a penalty. We were 2-0 up. They pegged it back to 2-2. And it then led to another disappointing result. It was one of those things where it wasn't one bad result. It became 2, 3, 4. Yeah, exactly. So that second half at Wolves was alarming. It was poor performance. It created a lot of unrest amongst the crowd. Social commentators, huge amount of criticism, head loss. Pundits were ready and waiting like vultures to get on top of them. There was rumours of fallouts and arguments and things thrown in the dressing room. So it was all primed for Arsenal to properly wobble, and we didn't. And that's not to say that the Spurs game was flawless, but the outcome and the delight that you can then ride as a wave out of that.
Well, you've proven
fantastic.
to yourself as a team, as a player.
Can do it. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, and that's important. And that's inside City's head.
Hope so.
Now, we've got a tough game on Sunday, Chelsea.
Very.
So, but I'm more worried about Brighton away on the Wednesday than I am Chelsea at home on the Sunday.
Me too.
Isn't that mad?
Yeah.
I'm confident, and don't clip this, please. No. I'm confident that we'll beat Chelsea.
Okay.
I'm not confident that we'll beat Brighton.
But
we should beat Brighton.
Arsenal fans, our home record is amazing this season. We've only lost to Man United in a game where they scored with 2 goals that, were extremely... Yeah, 2 worldies, that's fine. We weren't great that day. We were far too open. It was a chaotic game and, no one's complaining really about the result, but fine. But we have got an incredible sort of home record. But it's funny, isn't it, going to Brighton away? I think the memory and the flashbacks of disappointing results. Brighton are such an annoying side for Arsenal. We've had all sorts of petty rivalries with them since Neil Maupay basically shouldered Leno and injured him, put him out, although it benefited us because Martinez replaced him and we went on to win an FA Cup. Weird, isn't it, how these things...
And Maupay still looking to score a goal.
Yeah, exactly. So it was. It's a strange one, and last season as well was one of the most sort of memorable, but also like horrible days. We drew 1-1, a penalty awarded against Saliba for a thing that you've never seen again. Our minibus broke down on the way home. It was snowing. It was freezing cold.
Also, the home game was the Rice
and the home
red
game,
card.
the Declan Rice second yellow for tapping the ball away and then getting booted by Veltman. I mean, it's just...
that incident was I don't think I've called an incident more wrong than that. I thought the Brighton player was going to be red carded. That's how wrong I was. Sorry, they're under my skin, Brighton. I don't like their manager.
Absolutely, and we've got to try and not let them be under our skin next week, but got to take care of Chelsea first.
On Chelsea, do you think Chelsea will actually come and play football?
Hard to know what Chelsea will do. Again, was looking earlier, we were recording this and had a bit of time. They've got some iffy team news and selection and injuries to cope with.
Cucurella and Estavio, I think, are out from what I can garner. But again, Chelsea's press conference is tomorrow, so we'll learn more tomorrow.
I also read Reece James might have a knock. He's a bit of a doubt. He'll play.
Yeah, I think that's... And
Cole Palmer is the one. Because, again... Some bits I read online, I couldn't see anything official. It was all I could seem to get was like some fans worrying that he would be available, some fans worrying, saying, well, he's never available for Arsenal. He always seems to duck it. I don't really sort of get that. The reports are that he's got an ongoing groin issue that
chronic
has to be managed. It's not about him just having a spell out and it fixing. It's just something they have to manage.
I think he needs surgery.
Right. fine. So they're going to try and use him as they can, I assume, till the end of the season.
Which is why I think that, Reece James is exactly in the same boat. He apparently he was hooked in their previous game because he expressed a little bit of discomfort, but they got him off, and Rosenior said, no, he's definitely available. He'll be fine for Arsenal. That's what he said after the match.
Okay.
Now, again, we don't know how that's played out in training during the week, but because they've had a week off, if they'd had a midweek game, then maybe there'd be a bit of rotation there because Palmer and James... Go on.
So what about this then? Their midweek game where we play Brighton, mid-table, just kind of there, and may have a push for some European places if they put a run together, but fine. Chelsea are away at Villa midweek. Now, Villa are someone that they can gain ground on in that race for those Champions League spots, 4th, 3rd as well. So... Of course, they're going to want to beat us as well, and they're going to want to get something out of the game. And on their day, they are absolutely good enough to do that. But, Cucurella is a big player for them. Sanchez is still, there's huge question marks about him in goal.
Well, of course, they're missing Fofana as well. He's suspended.
Yeah, that's the other thing as well. So they've got to decide on what other of the 7 million teenage defenders that they've got to choose from that come in, all of whom have question marks about them in terms of their form.
They're on a bit of a poor run. They dropped points against Leeds and Burnley in the last 2 games, late on as well, 2 draws.
And only beat Wolves before that, lost to us.
We can't talk about only beating Wolves, Steph.
Oh yeah, damn.
If only we had beaten Wolves.
If only we had beaten Wolves. Sorry, silly me.
Have you got the table in front of you?
No, but it's right there. I got the table. Yeah.
Okay,
Chelsea,
so what? So they're 5th on how many points?
45.
And United are 4th
on 48.
48. Same games played.
Absolutely.
And Liverpool
Chelsea have got a better goal difference, it should be said.
Okay, Liverpool are
45 points as long with Chelsea, but have got a worse goal difference.
Okay, and how many points ahead of those guys are Villa?
Villa on 51, so 6 points. So it's literally a 6-pointer.
So Villa beat Chelsea, and that pretty much
you would
almost guarantees Villa finishing above Chelsea, and that would probably that's a massive game because Villa win that game against Chelsea.
Yeah.
If Chelsea haven't beaten us, I don't know who Villa are playing this weekend, but if Villa that would mean Chelsea are probably guaranteed, that's them out of the top 3. 3rd place is gone. That leaves 4th and 5th.
Villa have got a incredibly tough game.
Yes, it is.
Weekend.
No, I know who it is now. I remember.
Incredibly tough game.
Not everybody goes there. Yes.
Yeah. Away at Wolves tomorrow night. In fact, Friday night.
Crap. Watch them score 5.
Yeah, they'll win that 5-0, and then it's up to Chelsea to try and do a number on us. But that's interesting. Yeah. But Villa
I mean, Man United are confident of catching Villa, and I've heard some people say that Villa will prioritise the Europa League as a route back into the Champions League and end up finishing 6th in the league.
They're so close, though.
Yeah, and they've got 11 games left. We're the only ones down that are up to down to 10 games.
And United are at home to Palace. Palace, who are playing now in the Conference League.
United will win that
as it stands. But United should win that. They're on a pretty decent run.
Yeah, so that's. I wonder, do United play Chelsea yet this season? I don't know, because Chelsea play Man City as well.
Yes,
at Stamford Bridge, in fact. I need Chelsea to still be fighting for Champions League places when that game goes
Absolutely,
on. Otherwise, they'll prioritise Champions League. But anyway, I mean, it's just that we are under Rosenior's and Chelsea's skin. We know that. They celebrated the 1-1 victory against us earlier in the season,
and the 3-2 defeat,
and launched, yes, and then came and played bizarre tactics in a game they had to win at the Emirates, completely terrified of us. So it's all depends on what approach they take. Will he go for it, or will he try and be, I don't know, intelligent or something, intellectual in his approach? I don't know. More tactical. I have no idea.
The thing that worries me about Chelsea is their midfield, because Caicedo and Fernandes on their day are
very
up
good.
There. They are very, very good.
And
if you
Cole
add
Palmer
Reece
on his
James to
day.
that.
Yeah,
And Cole Palmer is incredibly dangerous. It just depends how fit he is.
And I'd be pleased if Estavio's not Estevao, or I don't know how to pronounce his name.
Or if you're Paul Merson, Steve-O.
Steve-O, I'll run with that.
Steve-O.
I don't know if he's available, but his was a hamstring thing, and it's, I don't know, 50-50. Maybe they might not risk him because, as you say, arguably their bigger game is Villa midweek. Arguably. Not London derby, they'll want to get one. I mean, a great scalp for feather in his cap for Rosenior, wouldn't it be, if they could beat us?
But at the same time, it'd be a weird one, wouldn't it? Like you go and beat Arsenal, but then you drop points to Villa. You know, it's yeah. If you can take him off your direct rivals.
Okay. Should we do the teams?
Yep. Do you want me to read Chris's stuff?
Yeah, read Chris's.
So Chris kept it short and sweet today. Team for Sunday with a good few days rest, hoping a few weary limbs will have recovered. Team he's gone for is Raya in goal, back four of Timber, Saliba, Gabriel and Calafiori, and then a midfield three of Eze, Zubamendi and Rice, and then a front three of Saka, Gyökeres and Trossard.
Yeah, I mean, I found this team selection quite difficult to predict.
I found it difficult because I think I know what I would go with, but I'm trying to think of what Arteta will go with. And I did not for some teams, I will just think, okay, Arsenal, just pick your best team. I do think that there's a couple of decisions based on who we are playing and how they play.
Well, okay, so for me, Cucurella not playing might impact who plays for us at right back if Ben White is available and fit. Because it's a home game, only because it's a home game, and we should take it to them.
Yep.
And Ben White does that. Although Timber has added to his offensive game, but he just looks so weary and so tired against Spurs. And if he has recovered, then fine. But I don't know. A week is a fair amount of time off. So Cucurella not playing might make a difference. But do we know what our best team is? That's my
no, and I think
there.
that, like you say, left back and the number 10 role, left eight, or right eight, if you want to think about it, are probably the positions where we're not 100% sure. And
a knock-on impact on left side of the front three.
Sure.
So what have you gone for?
I've gone for Raya in goal, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, but I've kept in Capie at left back. Midfield three, and remember, I'm predicting who I think Arteta will pick. I've gone Odegaard, Zubamendi and Rice. And then a front three, same as Chris, Saka, Gyökeres, Trossard.
I can't for a second think he won't start Eze.
Right. So my thinking is that the midfield, particularly the midfield pairing of Caicedo and Enzo Fernandez, would suit the intense pressing play of Odegaard, and that the slightly more laid back style, I don't know how to term it, of Eze could get overrun in a certain sort of situation.
But Eze could make sure that
he keeps them honest, keeps them back. Yeah, exactly.
He keeps them further back, keeps them deeper.
I tend to agree. If I was picking my team, Eze stays. You just can't deny.
Or what about wide left?
No, not for me.
No, we can go back to the Villa away game where he let Matty Cash run in behind him and score Villa's first goal.
Yeah, not for me.
He hasn't started on the left since then.
Exactly. And also, I just think, Trossard's in pretty decent form. There was doubts about him, about some facial injury. I think that something had happened, but that's not a problem. And also, I think, just in terms of Nkapie, defensive solidity, Calafiori, a bit of doubt. But for me, also, I'm with you. I think if White's available, I would probably err over him over Timber. Timber does probably need a rest, but also White in his offensive overlapping runs and all that sort of thing. If Cucurella is not available, that's who you take.
Yeah. No, I've written down Ben White because Cucurella's not playing. That's what I've written down.
But I think Arteta will pick Timber.
Coupled with the fact that Timber looks so jaded mentally and physically. Even though he got a great assist for the first Gyökeres goal, which was really good, and he did as other people have analysed, he did link up well with Saka and Eze. But I just think that Saka and Eze have to start. I think their relationship is pretty good, and
then still, who's on the bench? There's loads of people on the bench. Madueke, there's Martinelli. Oh.
Havertz, if Havertz was an outside chance for the Spurs game, well, then one can only assume that he'll make the bench for Chelsea.
Can I give you a Stef hypothetical? Havertz has been declared 100% fit, ready and raring to go. If you had to put him in the starting 11, where would you put him?
Okay.
You have to start him. He's 100% fit. You have to start him. Someone drops out. Who's dropping out?
Right, okay. I would be, and I know this, I mean, you'd play him in this game because it's Chelsea and their midfield is so strong. You'd play him in the Ødegaard Eze position.
That's
You'd
exactly
play Havertz there.
As well, yeah.
But then you could push Eze wide left. I know that creates a distance between Saka and Eze. However, Havertz is a fantastically clever player and he plays a lot closer to Gyökeres, and Saka will, so I still think that could work. I don't think, if Reece James is in midfield or if he's at right back, I don't think he'll play Eze on wide on the left. But I don't think Havertz is fit to start.
No, I don't think so either.
So we don't have to worry about that just yet. Yeah, so I've done like an Ødegaard / Eze for the number 10, but I want Eze and I think he'll play Eze. And then I've gone for Trossard on the left. And again, that's Madueke and Martinelli and Ødegaard and Jesus on the bench and Havertz, which is ridiculous.
Oh, no.
Like, good ridiculous.
And Norgard and Lewis Skelly.
I mean, Lewis Skelly, there's a conversation to have about Lewis Skelly. He's gone from first choice left back to third choice left back.
Yeah.
Ben White as well. Like, it's a conversation to have about Ben White. I'm convinced he would have started against Spurs had he been fit.
Right.
So that's on him. That's not on Arteta or the club. I think that's because, the fact that Arteta substituted Timber so early, quite clearly,
yeah.
His numbers were in the red, if you like. Another question I had before we get on to the scores was, why do you think we're not as solid defensively? We've got one clean sheet in the last 4 league games, and those games haven't exactly been,
Yeah, I don't know, because we've had a couple of spells. What seems to be a bit of a marker for the team at the moment, and it started maybe over the Christmas period, is looking really quite vulnerable after we've scored, and that's a concentration thing. It's physically, it's mentally. Part of the exhaustion of the team, but also there's an element of, and I remember going through this spell a while ago as well, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, where we seem to concede with like the first shot on goal, and so there's a weird vulnerability, and I just put it down to sort of jadedness. Like, as the season has gone on, maybe we've lost a bit of sharpness. I don't know.
So we've got Mosquera, who is brilliant.
Yeah, we probably should have rotated defence a bit more. We couldn't so much because Ben White was out for so long, and then when he came back, he was almost overplayed and broke again. Calafiori's been in and out of the team. Saliba and Gabriel, we've just turned to so much in so many games, and Mosquera had his own injury. So, yeah, maybe it's just that lack of settled players. Don't know. And even Raya's had a couple of jittery moments in games. Brentford first half particularly, I remember. So,
well, and also the Wolves goal.
And we've got to remember as well, like, we are talking about incredibly high standards. We're still not conceding at a major rate.
We've still got the best defence.
Still got the best defence in the league.
Joint top scorers.
Yeah, exactly. So, we are quibbling over, incredibly high standards, but yeah, those little things could be the difference. A few clean sheets here and there would not go amiss.
Do you know where that phrase comes from? Clean sheet.
No, it's one of those ones. I probably have heard it in the past, but I don't know. What is it?
It's early. Dates back to early sports journalism.
Okay.
Where the pre-digital and all that, where the reporters at the game would have a sheet of paper where they just jot down the goal scorers.
Okay.
And so if there were no goal scorers, the sheet was clean.
The sheet was clean. Okay,
clean sheet.
Interesting.
There you go. Bit of useless knowledge for everyone. I do a little I can.
Love it.
And Raya's on for his third Golden Glove in a row.
Should be nailed on, shouldn't it?
Well, he's thinking I think he's 2 or 3 clean sheets ahead of the next goalkeeper.
Oh, right. I didn't realise it was that close. Okay.
Yeah. Well, again, because we've conceded in 3 of our last 4 league games.
Yeah, it probably doesn't help, does it?
Add to the list. Add to the list this weekend. Thank you very much. What's Chris's scoreline?
Chris has said a very nervy 2-1.
I'm not here for that. I don't want that.
Okay. Well, you won't want to hear what I've got to say then.
1-1 draw.
2-2.
No, you've gone for a draw. I must be out in front in this league table that we're doing.
Oh, in terms of predictions or in terms of the points that you're predicting?
No. Well, I don't know. The little mini league that we've got, because we get...
you and Chris are equal on 28 points and I am on 24.
Okay.
And remember, it's 3 points for a correct score and result and just 1 point for the correct result.
Okay, so I've gone for 3-1 us.
You've gone 3-1, yeah.
I just think... I think we'll take the momentum from the Spurs game into this game. We've had a nice week. Complacency cannot enter the psyche because it's Chelsea. And I remember I said this after the Wolves game. I was really pleased when I looked at the fixture list and saw Spurs away, Chelsea home. We've got to play them. And I thought, right, now's the time, because there's the perfect kind of antidote to playing the bottom of the table, where you just expected to turn up. And in fairness, we went 2-0 up as well.
Yeah, we did.
But there you go. Right, 3-1. We've got 4 competitions in March. How many competitions are we still going to be in on March 23rd?
Oh, in April. Right, so, because there's another round of the FA Cup as well, isn't it? If we beat Mansfield.
Oh, is it? No, I think is it not international break at the end of March?
Ooh, I don't know.
Because the last games I've got scheduled down with the 22nd, the week is the League Cup.
Yeah, League Cup.
That's the last game in March. But then there might be FA Cup the following weekend. I don't know. I didn't check, to be fair. I just assumed it was an international break.
Okay. Well, we'll double check that. But I would like to think that we would get through against Mansfield, and I would like to think that we would get through against Leverkusen and or Atalanta.
Right. So hang on. Let's build this up. Bit to a bit of a climax.
Yep.
So we will be in the quarterfinal of the FA Cup.
Yep.
We will be in the quarterfinal of the Champions League.
Yep.
Will we have lifted any silverware?
At the moment, I don't know. I don't want to think about
Mark
that.
Gay's not playing in that game.
No, that's true. Oh, I don't know. I don't want to think about that. Sorry, I can't do it. I'll worry about that in a couple of weeks. And we'll still be in the running for the Premier League. I'm pretty sure of that.
Will we have won our 3 league games?
I don't know. I've just predicted that we'll draw one, so no.
Oh, no, that's true, yeah. What's that? Chelsea, Brighton, Everton. Chelsea, Brighton, Everton. 2 home, 1 away. Yeah, we get 9 points from those games.
Okay.
Will we beat City in the League Cup final, though?
Stop it, you. Look, we'll do a big preview when it comes around.
You're actually suffering at the thought of that, answering that question.
I'm so uncomfortable thinking about it.
Okay,
I wish it wasn't against them, but you got to beat the best. You got to be the best. You got to beat the rest.
It's just such an opportunity to lay down a marker. And the thing is, they sold out their allocation when everybody was anticipating they would not, as in Man City. We're in their heads.
Mm-hmm.
We're under their skin.
Well, even if it goes the other way as well, though, because it's interesting that a lot of the Carabao Cup final tickets, you were either registering or buying them when we were having our wobble against Wolves. So there will be some City fans who have gone, right, we smell blood. Arsenal wobbling, want to be there at Wembley if it all goes, belly up. But at the same time, they're probably thinking, well, no, we want to blooming win this, because I don't know whether they're realistically looking at things like the Champions League and the FA Cup difficult draw and just trying to savour it. It could be Pep's last season, all those factors.
They haven't won a trophy in ages. Okay, fine. Well, look, let's leave it on that awkward note where you're steadfastly refusing to even contemplate Arsenal lifting a trophy in 3 weeks' time. 3 weeks' time. Just over 3 weeks. Excellent. All right, anyway, cheers for the chat. Anything else to say? Anything else to add?
No, just that people can find us on, if they could subscribe on YouTube at North Bank Pod, we'd really appreciate it. And if you want to sign up and be a free member on our Patreon, we have chats going on with the match in there. It's all very nice and friendly. And obviously you can access the podcast in there and wherever you get your pods, Spotify, Apple. Join us.
Indeed. Right, cheers for the chat. Cheers for listening. Have a great few days and come on the Arsenal on Sunday. Let's do it.
Come on. See ya.
The North Bank, an Arsenal podcast. Subscribe, rate and review on your app and find us on your socials at North Bank Pod. Email hello@thenorthbankafc.com and check out our website, thenorthbankafc.com. Produced by the Podcast Company.